I got tired of people not taping races right. So
yeah, the little red light is on now.
Okay, so it should be working good.
Okay, so I'm in Texas, Tamiko and I, and we, I didn't mention.
What about Los Angeles? Why did it take so long to open the track?
It's not done with the Texas story.
I'm getting ready to tell you.
It's coming.
All right.
Right. I just realized I didn't even tell you about how I met Tamiko or anything. Like I say, there's a lot to the story, you know. But anyway, Tamiko and I.
What we'll do the stories in parts. I'll just come back next time and we'll just keep doing this every weekend. We'll get all this down.
Are you kidding?
Then that way we'll just put it as an evening with Big Willie. And we'll just put part 1, part 2, all the way till we get all of it. Because there's only 10-minute stretches on YouTube.
Yeah, but I know. You told me about that. See?
So we'll get it.
And, you know, there's no way you can, you know, put this on YouTube with, you know, in 10-minute deals.
Well, we can cut it up.
So, you know. But the bottom line is that, okay, Tamiko and I are in Texas, and, because she, you know, racing with her car and everything. We're getting the Texas track going. And so I called my mother back in Los Angeles, and she said, oh, Mayor Bradley been trying to get in touch with you. He's the mayor now. And so, you know, I missed that campaign, you know, and since we were touring the country, since we were supposed to be on the road for 6 months, we had been on the road for 2 years. Everybody warned us we were hot, we were going all over the place. I mean,
where'd you race?
We raced. We did car shows. When they got snow on the ground, we ended up doing car shows. When the snow melted, we ended up back racing. So we raced everywhere: Florida, Georgia, Virginia, New York, Canada. Wow. You know. So
who did you race?
Oh no, I'm not gonna get into that, man. That's another story right there. I gotta finish. Okay, so my mother told me that Mayor Bradley wants to talk to me. I talked to Mayor Bradley. And he said, Willie, I'm the mayor now. Come home. I needed the racetrack going. And because I have a taste of gang violence already happening in Los Angeles. At the corner of Slauson and Crenshaw, a newly formed gang called the Crips. They did a drive-by shooting at the Crenshaw's bus stop. And the gang members they were shooting at, they didn't hit them, but they hit and killed a little baby at the corner of Crenshaw and Slauson. A little baby was hit and killed. And so, you know, the pressure's on me as the mayor to get this under control. So you come home so we can get the track going. And now we're right at the edge of 1964, you know. So
1974.
1974, you're right. Yeah, the years, yeah. Yeah, the years, yeah. So this is the end of 73, going into 74. And so we come back to LA. We get with, for that fact, when I got with my mother in Los Angeles, we stored all our stuff in her garage. And so after she talked to me in Texas and I was on my way home, some kids was playing around the garage and set the garage on fire. Tamiko lost a lot of her clothes. I lost a lot of my stuff, my uniform and all kind of stuff, yeah. And but anyway, that's one of the sad points of. There's a lot of sad points. I mean, but I can't cover all that. So the bottom line is that I'm gonna try to get this black in, and I think when I'm swinging down, he's taking off. So, okay, so we back in Los Angeles. Okay, I'm talking to Mayor Bradley, and so he said, Willie, I got Lions drag strip. I said, well, Lions got a curfew, and so so we went before the harbor commissioners, and so we said, well. They said, well, we're going to assign Sergeant Parks. You know, the chief of police, Bernard Parks, his dad. I did not know that was his dad at the time. And Bernard Parks was one of the rookie cops that worked with me. He was part of the 100 firemen and police officers. Oh, there's a lot of cops and a lot of, oh man, that's another story right there. Anyway, so Sergeant Parks, who was actually Bernard Parks' dad, which I didn't know at the time, he was assigned to take me to see Lions Drag Strip. We called the asphalt people that paved Lions Drag Strip. They met us there, and so the Heart Department had dug up all the Lions Drag Strip. And I asked Sully Miller, the company that paved the Lions Drag Strip, how much will it cost to repave Lions? And he said, you're looking at about $2 million. $2 million. Sergeant Parks said, Willie, come here. Sergeant Parks said, Willie, let me take you and all these people over to Terminal Island. There's an old Navy airfield there, and the Los Angeles Police Department used it to train the cadets from the academy. And so I said, yeah, take me to Terminal Island. Let me see. And Tamika and I, we all rode over to Terminal Island following Sergeant Parks. We get to Terminal Island, and he said, okay, see? And the runway was 3/4 mile long. And so all we need is a 1/4 mile and a 1/2 mile shutdown. And so, wow. The actual shutdown of the track, for the track, is 3/4 mile. All we need is a 1/2 mile shutdown. Well, the shutdown was 3/4 mile. And so, anyway, I said, and I met the police officer that was in charge of the training there. And I also talked to Sully Miller. I said, how much would it cost to pave the runway? Because the runway was a little raggedy, you know. And so he said, Willie, you're looking at maybe $14,000. $14,000 compared to $2 million plus Terminal Island M3 zone. You can set off dynamite 24 hours on Terminal Island. You can run around the clock. I said, oh, this is beautiful. I like this. So we went before the commissioners, and they had a whole bunch of old people from the leisure homes, you know, from the senior homes that's next to Lions Drag Strip. And so when I got up to the podium, I turned around to the audience, tell the people, you do not have to worry. We don't have any plans to open up Lions Drag Strip. And they clapped, they stood up. We want Terminal Island. And that was it. The general manager of the harbor, he told me over his dead body that I would get Terminal Island. I said, I'm a Christian and I'm not going to kill you for no racetrack. But I will go and tell Mayor Bradley what you just told me. And that's just what I did. I said, Mayor Bradley, the general manager of the harbor told me over his dead body, and I told him I'm not going to kill him. And so, you know, so Mayor Bradley had to get involved. And so that was it. That was the beginning of Terminal Island. We had to do a sound test and stuff, and you know, but you know,
how many times was it opened and closed?
Oh, to sum it up, open and closed 11 times.
And was the last time it closed? Okay.
What made it close?
Oh, the harbor. This is the deal that Mayor Bradley made with the harbor department. If you need the property for harbor business, you know, which is fishery, navigation, the basic for Los Angeles Harbor, then Willie will close his track, and then when the land is available, then he'll come back and reopen. So we got to be in the Guinness World Book of Records for the racetrack that's closed and opened the most, 11 times.
And it was opened first in 1974?
74 all the way to 1995.
What What made it close down that last time?
A coal company. They brought in a coal company to ship coal to Japan. See, I gotta think ahead of the fly. He's still flying around. Anyway, the coal company will ship coal to Korea, China, and Japan.
Didn't they go bankrupt?
What happened is that the president at the time, President Clinton, he ordered that there's two facilities that ship coal to the west coast. Coal come out of Utah and also Virginia. And he shut down one of the facilities. I think he shut down Utah. And so when they did that, the air quality people of planet Earth, they had talked to Korea, China, and Japan, and they all started backing up on burning coal. So when they backed up on burning coal, then the coal company was not shipping that much coal, and they went bankrupt.
And then they cost the state money?
The state?
Yeah. Environmental hazardous removal?
No. The harbor, the coal company, they removed their stuff. Hey, the harbor, it takes care of itself.
So if there's no more coal there, why isn't it open today?
The Heart Department had plans for containers and all kind of other stuff. Because we went there, and the coal people, for that fact, the coal people started suing the Heart Department because they thought that the Heart Department was getting rid of them to bring in another coal company. And so the coal company said, well, you guys, you can put your track together here and you can, while we're here. But then they cut a deal with the coal company, and then they said, the coal company was gone. Once the coal company left, then we couldn't bring our track in, because then the Heart Department started bringing in the containers to be a container terminal. And so that was basically the fight that we were having. And so that's one reason why we're not open now. So in the meantime, we're looking at other land available, and so the land we came up with just recently here is a land at Anaheim, between Henry Ford and Alameda.
What about the sound restrictions and curfews?
Nope, it's still an M3 zone, and so there's no problem with that, except we are a little bit closer to housing, the Wilmington area, and so we don't know how we're going to handle that, since the street racers are running mufflers and stuff now anyway, and yeah. And so the sheriffs are working with us, the Los Angeles Police Department is working with us, and so they say if they have to, they just have to run mufflers. And so the racers, they are happy with that because they can run mufflers. I mean, they're running mufflers on, 8-second, 7-second cars.
Fastest street cars.
Yeah. And so